Yes, we are going to do the first 3 Splinter Cells, aka 1, 2, and 3. Regular Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, and Chaos Theory. 3 really good games. I want to get this out the way first. When I first played the original Splinter Cell, I played it on the GameCube version, not knowing that that is not the best version of the game. I've even admitted as much by saying this. Got Splinter Cell in my GameCube. Unfortunately, that was the worst version of the game. Now that I got that out the way, unfortunately, it's not the best version of the game. And I didn't want to believe that the Xbox version was better at the time until today, where I finally played all of the Splinter Cells, even the original one, the real version of the original one, and wondered why there was so much of a difference. To finally be told that it was made by a completely different studio, and I can genuinely tell you that they are not the same experiences at all. Like, completely. They're a completely different experience. I guess we can start this off by starting off with Splinter Cell 1. I genuinely can say this without a shadow of a doubt. This was a solid base and a solid start for the franchise of Splinter Cell. This genuinely started with one of the greatest foundations. This started off as one of the greatest foundations for any stealth game, aka it's like the Metal Gear for the Splinter Cell world. It genuinely is a great starting base for what is to become the Splinter Cell 3 or the first 3 Splinter Cell games, or my favorite set of Splinter Cell games out of all of them. Didn't get a chance to play Pandora Tomorrow yet. I'm gonna probably play that. I just gotta find a good version of the game and a copy of the game, because I don't have the copy of the game. So, you know, if I can find that, that would be great. And I'm not gonna download it for my PC because I don't have that type of time. Moving on. So, this game has positives and negatives. I'll go ahead and start off with the positives first. I do like how this game is, you know, kind of linear in a sense of this is the way, or this is your area, this is what you have to do to get to said locations and spots and set pieces to kind of get past. You are always inside of an area.
Who in the hell are you supposed to be?
Inside of a building or inside of a compound, and it always is fun to see how you were able to manipulate the light, the enemies, and everything around there to try to, you know, get to your destination, get to the spot, or, you know, find the person you're supposed to kill, or find the person that you are not supposed to kill or capture or whatever. It's genuinely fun to see this. The only thing is, you always have to be on guard. You also have to be very, very intent on listening, because some guards can hear you really, really well. Some guards can hear you from very far, and some guards can see you if you're not properly in the right light source. I also do like that there is a random body check system, so the game will always check if you leave bodies out in light sources. So you have to be in a really good body placement or hiding bodies in good sources so no one can get caught or get found, and then you won't set up an alarm. This game has the 3 alarm system. 3 alarms, game over, mission over, however you want to say it. That's why, thank God, there's a quick save system and a save system that saves anywhere. That quick save system has helped me out of a lot of situations. Like legit. Like I can't really stress that enough that the quick save system generally saved my life and man hours playing this game. The only thing is you can't quick save yourself into having to restart a whole level. I wouldn't suggest you quick save unless you genuinely know that you need to quick save at this exact location, or you will not like the results of that, so you have to be a little careful. Other than that, it was pretty exhilarating to kind of test out theories and test out fun tactics to get through an area and or find out what to do. Even at the game kind of coming off as a little game-ish instead of action experience. But that's just fine. The game was still fun overall. My negatives, on the other hand, are, since this being the first game, there are some situations that are total BS. Like, prime example, you can't knock a guard out with one hit if they're on alert, which doesn't make any sense in certain situations. Because if I'm hitting you in the back of the head, you're not gonna, just automatically kind of, get dazed and then get knocked out. Which I never found cool. It was very agitating and it was very annoying for when situations like this happen. So therefore, it was always stick to something very far or stick to something that you know is going to get the enemy knocked out quicker. 2, some of the lighting in this game was very bad, so therefore you wouldn't know if the enemy can or can't see you, which didn't make any sense in some situations where I could be clearly hidden in the dark and the enemy's like, who is that, or what is that? Or if I knock an enemy out, they're going, what is that over there? And I'm like, huh? You can't possibly see this person. Especially in areas that were very foggy. This franchise, I don't think, understands that fog means you can't see me at all from very far away. So enemies should not be able to see me from a very far distance, but the game did not care. Also, there's a particular incident where I would get caught very far away from the noise that Sam is making. Even if the location didn't make any sense. Like if a washing machine is on and I made a noise, you would not be able to hear the noise that I make over the washing machine, especially if you're standing next to the washing machine and you're shooting guns and lighting firecrackers. How the hell are you supposed to be able to hear me? That doesn't even add up. But unfortunately, Splinter Cell found a way for that to happen. That being said, another negative I have is some of the missions kind of barely explain what are you supposed to do. So there are situations where you could end up literally doing nothing and or trying to figure out what to do, and then the game would game over you even though you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, prime example, if you don't know how to use that mic, some situations would be a little stupid. Like, you're supposed to close in on the mic, or you're supposed to have the mic zoom in an extra layer, even though the game doesn't specifically say zoom in an extra layer. And earlier in the game, there was a situation where you just had to take the mic out and just put it on the elevator, and it automatically made the sound.
Give me 3 more days. The devices can be armed in one and placed the next. Of course the art, but you know the details. We need to strike together, or we may as well not strike at all. Nicholas, listen to me, because you will reveal us. That's ridiculous. How could they listen? That's paranoia, but fine. No, fine. We will have a safe conversation. I will call you back from my car.
Good Lord, Fisher. That's General Conferon.
Good lord. Who's that?
He was the chairman of China's Central Military Commission until '01. Very high PLA mucker.
A Chinese general talking to Nicholas isn't good news.
Whatever he's going to say when that conversation resumes just became our highest priority. Stay with him. Time to get invisible. Anyone so much as sees you and the mission's over. We're not going to be able to talk our way out of this. I think this means war. Mission's over, Fisher. God help us all.
That is the type of frustrating stuff that did happen when I played this game. But other than that, those frustrations aside, I like this game so much that I had to play through it at least twice, trying to perfect my way through the game. There is so many levels where you had to hide in corners or find a way to, sneak past an area of light that was genuinely challenging and interesting. Now, at the time that this came out, again, I played the GameCube version, which is not the best version. At the time this came out, I was already in the Metal Gear franchise, and I could genuinely say I have to rethink the Splinter Cell and the Metal Gear series as a whole and say that, to me, they are an equal franchise. Officially, if I was to put this on the same scale as a Metal Gear, this would be on the same scale as Metal Gear Solid. It's a high starting point for a franchise. That being said, I'm going to have to number these games because I can't say buy, rent, or sale. So, starting with this one, I'm going to have to say this game is a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because this game is a solid start. The gunplay is fantastic. You can even go in guns a-blazing, even though the 3-alarm system would kind of get you messed up on that way. So there were multiple options of dispatching enemies. I wouldn't, do it, but this game did allow you to kind of be a murderer or a maniac. But it was also fun to see if you could sneak through a whole level without getting caught. It was just a fun starting game. My favorite level being the CIA level, how you had to sneak in, through the vent or however they had you sneak in. You had multiple ways, but the GameCube version, unfortunately, automatically snuck you in. That was fun. That being said, let's move on. Gosh darn it. I need the code to this phone. I need to find the guard that has it. Wonder where he is. You got something for me? Hmm? Let's have this conversation back here. Now, getting started with this one, I like to formally say I genuinely can say I still like this game, but for the second one, I genuinely didn't like it as much as the first one. I don't know what it was. Maybe I can explain it to you guys, so you can see what I mean. I'm gonna start with the positives as well, and then go on to the negatives. The positives, the graphics were improved greatly, so I got less lag going through the game. Especially the fact that this version of the game that I got, which is from the collection, was generally lauded as one of the laggiest versions of the game. But that being said, I didn't find any issues with that whatsoever. There was probably some drop, but not like noticeable or like an explosion had to be happening at the same time. While then playing the game, I also noticed that Sam's aim got a lot better with the pistol, which is a constant source of frustration from the first one, where I could be aiming my pistol and he shoots everywhere but where he needs to aim, which was very frustrating if anybody played Splinter Cell. The first one, that was very bad. The second one, his aim got better because he probably went to the gun range to aim a pistol down range and finally got better with it. And another thing I did like is some of the interactions with Lambert and Sam Fisher were a lot better. It truly showed Sam Fisher's mindset as he was going through the game. Like if he got a stupid order or an order he didn't agree with, Sam wasn't going to take that nonsense. He was going to obviously question orders and kind of be that guy.
It wasn't your day.
Well, I wasn't very good in simulation.
The NSA just called me. We have a problem in East Timor.
What kind of problem?
A big one.
I did like that part of him. I also like that it showed Sam's friendships in this game too, with Shetland. I also like the fact that, of course, Sam, he went from just a basic guy to a guy with no nonsense and more personality in this one. Something that I noticed does carry on to the third one, but we'll get to the third one when we get to it. Moving on from there, I like how there were certain situations in the game where it had scripted events during the mission. We had to follow a person to get another part of your gun upgraded, which it's great to have your rifle upgraded. I keep forgetting the name of it, but let's just say it's been in this series since the beginning and it's not going to stop now. Use that gun for everything. I like the fact that the gun now, you have a better zoom on it. You can hold your breath better, you can aim it better, and when you snipe somebody from 1,000 miles away, you snipe somebody from 1,000 miles away. Now moving on to the things I did not like about the game. Unfortunately, this game takes place on some weird levels. Some levels are during the day with the sun blaring dead on you, which is it eliminates the very fucking point of the game when the sun is blaring down on you and light sources are literally blaring on you to the point where you have to hide. It is some of the hardest things to hide. Some of the levels that have the sun out on you are literally devoid of spots where you have to specifically follow a path to get yourself uncaught by the enemy, which is very frustrating when you have to kind of hide from the enemy who can just turn around and be like, oh, there's that guy right there. It's sound the alarms. And the alarms in this game resulted in enemies getting more armored up or anything like that. And of course, in a lot of the levels, 3 alarms and you're done. So it was very frustrating. But on a positive note, with it comes to the alarm system, if you remain stealthy, the alarm went down. So you were never stuck in an alarm zone. You can always just not get caught anymore and then move on. Another situation I also didn't like in this game was the fact that some of the enemies had some of the greatest hearing of all time, even though you could be 1,000 miles away from them, they can hear you from like they're Superman.
Wait here.
And it didn't make any sense. An enemy would come searching, and then enemy would come like looking around the corner and all that good stuff. And there are some missions where, again, the light sourcing kind of messed it up. Like, there was a spotlight, and you're not supposed to get hit by the spotlight, but the enemies can still see you because the area is very well lit, which I think messed up when it came to the lighting in this game. It made me confused where if I could walk out and avoid the spotlight, I can't get caught. But I would get caught by not the spotlight, and then the spotlight found me, which created an infinite source of frustration. I also noticed that the game has the same problem as the first one. When it comes to enemies being able to shine a light on you and getting caught, or hearing you through walls, or seeing you through walls, which is the same problem that the first one had. In this one, it was as prevalent as the first level. The very first level, I got caught, or almost got caught, through a large bridge, which is, again, some of the most frustrating things I've ever had to deal with in this game. Also, can genuinely say this game has one of the worst endings ever. It's literally an anticlimactic ending that just ends abruptly. It ends so abruptly. There's no, presidential speech or nothing, kind of, thanking you or anything like that. It just ends with Sam saving the day. Then credits. Like, no. Another negative that I had for this game was Lambert and Grimdarter's voice. They were completely different. I noticed that as soon as I landed in this game, it sounded so weird and odd, and I was genuinely confused.
Let's work on stealth. Your gun should always be your last resort. Invisibility is your best weapon. We've got a network of photocells on your suit connected to a visibility meter on your OPSAT. If the meter's at 3, you're lit up like Times Square. You a back door.
Avoid the main gate at all cost. Blueprints show an ornamental stream running beneath the entrance. Looks like a viable way in.
A little wet's better than a little dead. That stream's your way in, even if it means moving slowly to minimize your noise level. Fisher, be careful. This village is a walk in the park compared to what...
By the person that took over as the voice spot, and while he did have some good banter later, it was just bad. It was just very bad, and I was very confused. So, it was weird. But, again, while I said I don't hate this game does have one of my favorite missions in all of the Splinter Cell, and that's the airport. The airport, in a way, you have to find the enemy before they set off a bomb. You have a bunch of enemies that don't work for the airport and never work for the airport, and you have to find them through your thermal vision, which if you found them, you had to find a way to get rid of them or kill them, which was genuinely fun. It was a fun distraction on that mission. You even had to break into the airport yourself. It was very fun through a truck. It was very cool. And then there was a dog there too. Very fun. But moving on. This game, for me, if I was to score it, would get a 7 out of 10. Just under the first one, but still a good game in its own right. I would never say it's better than the first one, but I still like the game. People should still play this game. Trust me, it's still a good game and it's still a fantastic experience. It's just some of the negatives for this game genuinely had me upset, and some of the levels genuinely had me kind of like wanting to shake a small bat at a kindergarten goat. Don't know what that means, but it genuinely had me wanting to do that. While I did like the game, I can't stress that enough. I like this game. Did I like it as much as the first one? No. That's why I'm giving it a 7. Let's move on to the third and final one in our big review here.
hell was that, Fisher? The mission's over. Get out of there.
What? What the fuck?
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, the third game in this little project of mine right now. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Where do we begin? Right off the bat, you already noticed there is an upgrade to everything in this game. Graphics, sound quality, the voice actors are back to normal. Sam Fisher has the best personality he's ever had in this game.
Fisher, I just synced your offset with intelligence on the bank that you and your team gathered back in '89.
The memories.
Yeah, judging from your report, sounds like it was quite a vacation.
It was, actually. I spent most of the rest of that year sleeping in a ditch on the road between Baghdad and Kuwait.
Oh well, if it's any consolation, I had a bad year that year too.
What? You weren't working for the government during the Gulf War?
No, I was in 10th grade.
Oh, right. Yuck.
Good work, Sam. That shut down the magnetic locks on the windows. Hey, wait a minute. Power spike. The lobby. It looks like a laser grid just came online.
Lasers. Lasers are so...
90s?
I was going to say 70s. Can you please stop making me feel old?
Got bad news for you, Sam. You are old.
Great work, Fisher. Now any investigation into the robbery will only point back at the investigators.
So the Panamanian government will end up sending some innocent banker to prison?
Innocent, if you don't count providing arms to revolutionaries.
Oh, right, I forgot. Bankers. Evil.
Good job, Fisher. Now the whole mission will look like a robbery. They'll never know why we were here.
Lambert, now that I'm holding 50 million bucks, I think we need to talk about that raise again.
25 cents an hour and not a penny more.
Deal.
He could be really funny, if not really dad-like, making kind of dad jokes. You know, of course, joking around with Lambert, having fun. If not, kind of being serious to the mission and mission critical situations. Sam Fisher in this game is a really great character. You can really tell where he improved from the other areas of part 1 and 2. But that's just me gushing about this. I can genuinely say this is one of the greatest stealth games I've ever played in my life.
I knew you would come.
What?
My whole life.
I have been waiting for you to come in the thunder and the darkness and finish what you began.
What are you talking about?
You are one of them. One of the Americans who killed my family. And now you've come back for me.
I don't think so.
Do your worst. I have always known it would end this way. I am prepared to die.
You're freaking me out.
Kill me. I long to see my family again. I'm coming, Father.
And that includes Metal Gear Solid 3. So I can honestly say that this is, to me, the Metal Gear Solid 3 of the franchise, which means this is a fantastic game. It's not bad in any way, shape, or form. But let me go ahead and go through everything that I did like about the game. 1. The alarm system no longer matters. All it does is level up the enemies a little bit. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to hide bodies anymore either, and the game now has a ragdoll system. Now when you knock an enemy down, or you can just knock an enemy down once, either lethally or non-lethally, and they will fall. No matter if they're alerted or not, you can officially just knock them out. 2, they don't automatically hit alarms. You hit the guy that's about to hit the alarm doesn't go off, nor if nobody else knows or hears the guy, therefore you will automatically go through without an alarm. You can't officially go through whole levels without alarms and actually get superly rewarded. I like saying that 100% at the end or a high percent at the end of the mission. Another thing that I did like, now in the previous 2 games there were mission critical people.
What the hell was that, Fisher? The mission's over. Get out of there.
Well, I mean, like generals and stuff, or people you did not know were mission critical. Unless the game kind of like hinted at it, sometimes they did not. This game doesn't have that anymore. Officially, if somebody legit kind of is mission critical, it doesn't matter now. You can hack retinal scanners and doors, when in the other 2 games you had to either interrogate them or have them kind of open doors for you with grabbing them. But in this one, it was so amazing how some of the, like, no mission had that requirement, and you can officially knock everyone in the mission out or kill everybody in the mission, in which going in guns a-blazing is actually a viable strategy in this game. You could do it.
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Huh? Guarding the roof.
From what?
Let me go and I'll show you.
Feisty one. How about I cut your ear off, see how tough you are then?
Go ahead. I have 2.
How many men do you have out here?
I'm alone on this roof.
Alone, huh? Lousy way to die.
We all die alone.
Did anyone order dinner? What's on the menu?
I know you're too scared to fight me fairly. I know you're too scared to fight me fairly.
But Alice the mission said don't kill anybody, but you could still go in guns a-blazing or as quiet as a mouse on a Tuesday. That genuinely was a big upgrade. The ragdoll system was genuinely a big upgrade to me too. How you can just instantly hit an enemy with an airfoil, knock him out easily, or just push him, or drop him from over a railing. It was genuinely fun to do in this game. Another thing that I liked about this game, the meter kinda made more sense in this game because the lighting in this game was a lot better and improved. If you stepped out of the shadows, it generally worked better. And then there's the one biggest improvement that made me almost shed a tear. The sound. There is a sound meter now. The sound meter lets you know that you are making too much noise, or is saying the noise Sam is making versus the noise in the room. Which means, to my earlier scenario, that if somebody's sitting next to a washing machine shooting guns with firecrackers, Sam can make all the noise he wants in the world and no one in the world will hear him because there's too much noise around the area that's around him. So he can't make more noise, or he could make more noise or he could make a louder noise than what's already the noise in there. So if somebody's playing the radio, they can't genuinely hear you as easily as if you could like walk in the room normally. They can't just hear your footsteps automatically. If you drop a body, they're not going to hear your hear anything. They're not going to hear that. They're only going to be able to hear you if you make enough noise or start shooting or start doing something stupid. And then there's the level design in this game. The levels are all very huge. They have multiple objectives, and they are very, very open-ended when it comes to what you're supposed to do. You always get optional, opportunity, and main missions that you have to complete, and sometimes it's numerous inside of one level, and you can easily do that. It's very fun to do, and I generally suggest if anybody could play this game to 100% all the levels, and I guarantee you would not regret it, because the sense of feeling that you would have playing this game. Which brings us to my next point. This game was not easy in the slightest. It's very hard. The only other game that this reminded me of was Dark Souls, where you try to play the game, some part gets you over, and then this happens.
Come on, man. What the hell? Fuck this game. Fuck. You know what? No. Not gonna let you. Not gonna let you beat me. No.
And I had that with this game so many times that I genuinely didn't want to stop. I kept going through this game till finally I beat it. Now, if I can move on and stop gushing from this game, I generally don't like the fact that there was no more multiplayer for this version of the game, which kind of saddened me because I heard good things about this one and Part 2's multiplayer, and I kind of did not like certain levels when it came to trying to get 100%, which means you can't get caught once. Some of the situations that the game will put you in almost meant that you had to do something drastic to kind of get that result, which means either had to get a body to get found to turn an enemy around or something like that, which resulted in me kind of getting a little frustrated again when it came to the game putting you in bullshit situations where you can't avoid certain combat scenarios. But barring those far and few in between areas or situations, the game was genuinely fantastic from start to finish. There was some genuinely funny dialogue in this game. You see Sam grow old. You see Sam finally get to the point where he knows what he's doing 100%. He doesn't 100% question orders. He kind of goes with the orders. Some stupid orders he will question, and he'll kind of like, we gotta make a compromise on this. Or you as the player, and this is the best part, you as a player could choose to be defiant on some issues and not listen to Lambert and Grimm's daughter and do the opposite, which would result in you either getting a trophy or you getting a plus mark at the end of the game, because sometimes some of those orders didn't make no sense. But that's just me. That being said, I would like to give this game a 9 out of 10. That's automatic. This game had to get the 9 out of 10. And again, they did change the controls for this game, not gonna lie, but once I got used to it, it was one of the greatest stealth games I've ever played. And mind you, I don't really play too many of those anymore, but every time I play one, it's always genuinely a blast to play. And this game automatically ranks as some of the top stealth games I've played, and that's including Sekiro and Metal Gear Solid, and that's pretty much all I can remember at the top of my head. But that being said, Splinter Cell throughout the series 1, 2, and 3 were generally interesting games and concepts, and I mean the Xbox and PC version, not the GameCube version. Yeah, don't go play that. It's a little weird. It's kind of easy. It's the easy mode version of the game. But that being said, these games genuinely, after some time, I kind of wish my cousin did this.
Cousin, odd cousin. Why, hello, cousin. How art thou? Why are you reading the GameCube version of the Splinter Cell franchise? I can significantly tell you that the Cubist version doesn't need to be as detailed, and it is amazing. Well, cousin, I have significantly pondered. The realist version is the Boxes of X version of the game with significantly more challenge to it. You are pontificating yourself into mediocrity. I say poppycock to what you are currently telling me. Such language, cousin. What do you mean? It is poppycock. I will always say poppycock. Poppycock, poppycock, poppycock. But you will force me to do something drastic, cousin. It's poppycock. What do you mean by drastic, cousin? Fine. Oh, that's what you meant by drastic. Yes, cousin. Can you please get this out of my face, cousin? You will read the Boxes X version of thine game. Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth? I will read, in fact, read the Boxes version of Splinter Cell. Thank you. Yes. I apologize profoundly, cousin, for my disgusting language.
He did not do that when I was younger, because we weren't listening to him, and I wish he did, because I genuinely regret not playing this as a younger person. But replaying this as an older person in a better state of mind, I generally have fun playing these games. And if I can go back in time, I would hand myself an Xbox, a controller, obviously the plug and stuff, and play these games from start to finish. And I guarantee you, I would probably be playing this and Metal Gear in succession in like a marathon one day. But that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I don't know if I'm gonna get Splinter Cell Pandora tomorrow, or no, not Pandora tomorrow. Double Agent. I think I said something completely different later, but Double Agent, or I have to find a way to play Splinter Cell Conviction as well. When it came to Conviction, I actually do like Conviction a little bit there, except their stealth mechanics are stupid, but that's neither here nor there. And I need to play Double Agent, which is a upgraded version of this, judging from like the graphics and stuff. And then there's Blacklist. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to play it, but I do need to play it. But that being said, I will catch you guys in the next Wild Fang review. You guys enjoy yourself, and let's just say the next big game marathon that we're doing, it's going to be different. A lot different. And there's another big review too. See you guys later.
Once we have the mics aligned to consume it.